So, you finally found yourself a copy of Super Bubsy for the PC. However, it runs terrible, if it runs at all. So what do? Don't go searching for a Windows 95 machine. This game had issues on some computers back then as well. Thankfully, there is a solution to run this game properly on Windows 10, and I'll show you how to do it. To get the game to run properly, first thing you got to do is go to the dgVoodoo 2 download page. There's a link in the description, or you can just search dgVoodoo 2 download in Google. It should be the top result. Once you're on this page, look for the latest stable version. In my case, it's version 2.8.2, and you want to download the for regular use one. Click that, and it'll download. If you try the latest version for you, whatever that number is, and it's not working, down below they do have the older versions, so you can look for 2.8.2 down here and download that one because we know that one works. We'll go ahead and copy that zip to our desktop. Minimize that window. Go ahead and right-click on Voodoo Zip and extract it. Just extract it right to the desktop. And we can go ahead and close that window for now. And we'll just keep that handy. We can delete the zip file. If you want to hold on to that to use for other old games, this works for a lot of them. So it's good to have that if you play a lot of older games. Now that we have our Voodoo extracted, we need to pop in our Super Bubsy disk into the disk drive, or open up the ISO if you happen to have the disk image saved to your computer somewhere. Go ahead and open that up. Now, regardless if you have an ISO disk image or the physical disk, it'll show up in the DVD drive the same way. Now, what's different about these old games is they don't actually install on your computer. A lot of them just run right off the disk, and this one is no different. This also does not have copy protection. So all you got to do is right-click on your desktop, create a new folder, call it Super Bubsy, and copy everything in that disk image to Super Bubsy. It'll just take a minute to copy everything over. Once that's done, we can go ahead and close. We'll go ahead and actually right-click on the DVD and hit eject. If you have the physical disk, that should eject your disk drive and pop that out. If you're just opening an ISO, it'll just unmount that ISO, so it's not running. Now that we have Super Bubsy in this folder, we can open it up, and we have all the files here. You do have to extract the files out into their own folder on your computer because you can't edit any of this on the disk or in an ISO format. It has to be pulled out like this. Go ahead and open up that dgVoodoo 2 folder. Copy the control panel into your Super Bubsy folder. That'll be in there. And then open up the MS folder, x86 folder, and you will want the bottom 3 files. You do not want the D3, D8, DLL. You just want the other 3. Copy those. Paste those into your Super Bubsy folder. Now we can close this. If you want to delete this folder, you can. Save it for later. Do with that as you want, because we don't need it anymore. Now, inside Super Bubsy, go ahead and open up the Voodoo control panel. Windows usually will throw up an issue because it's an unknown publisher. It is safe to run. Just go ahead and run it. First thing, make sure you select the correct instance. In my case, I have several instances of Voodoo on my computer, so it's going to find them all. Just make sure you select the proper Super Bubsy that you're working on if you have those instances. I have found that you need to select windowed under the general tab here. For whatever reason, it won't force it to windowed mode. However, If you don't check that, it doesn't work, at least for me. Under glide, turn off force VSync. Under DirectX, you want to change the video card to an ATI Radeon card. This game was developed by ATI, which is odd. They are the original AMD. They were the company that later became AMD that makes graphics cards. It was odd for them to make a game back then. But it's optimized for those graphics cards, so that's what we need to use. Select 128 megabytes. For whatever reason, that works. And then I turn off the dgVoodoo watermark. That's up to you if you want that on there or not. And then hit OK. And you'll see a configuration file pop in there. At this point, we need to select our setup. Right-click on that. Go to Properties, Compatibility. Check Run this program in compatibility mode. And you want to select XP Service Pack 2. If for whatever reason you're having issues, you can try some of these other ones, but XP Service Pack 2 seems to work, so that's the one I use. Now, with that done, we're ready to open up the game. And it should work for us now. We'll go ahead and hit play. And this game will start up pretty slow, and you'll notice it'll move windows, and if you have multiple displays, it'll screw all that up. This game is set to run at a resolution that just isn't used today, so it throws everything off. Other thing to keep in mind, in this game, you cannot click into any other program. You can't click out of the game at all, or it will crash. The game does have Alt-Tab built in, but it doesn't work right. It'll still crash. We'll go ahead and skip through intro stuff. We don't need to see any of that right now. And now that we have dgVoodoo 2 in, Bubsy is running smooth. And now we can enjoy the classic on modern computers, which is amazing.